The first step to eliminating sludge from a pond is where you put the pond. This is a pond that I had dug when we moved into our property, and I didn't know any better, so I got the guy to dig it in the lowest part of the block. Well, all the runoff and sediment accumulates down there, and so as you can see, I have heaps of sludge. So in this situation, what I need to do is drain the water away from the pond, or increase the filtration that we'll get into later. Next, what you want to do is add some kind of skimming motion off the surface. This is just going to prevent like floating materials like leaves and twigs and things, even dust, grass clippings, to sink to the bottom where it can accumulate. So if we can skim that off before it sinks, that's going to help us heaps. So you can make your own little skimmer, you can buy a skimmer. If you have the pond in a depression like I did, just having the overflow so that it creates a tension on the water when the pond fills and overflows will help you out heaps. So skimming's what we call a mechanical filter. The next kind of filter that we want to have is biological, which is just homes for bacterias and little microorganisms to live, and they're going to help break down some of this waste. So what I like to do is I like to use bog filters or wetland filters. The skimmer's going to take some of the solids off the water, they'll move through the pump up into the bog or the wetland, and from there they'll get deposited. I like to put a little drain down the bottom so that I can drain out the solids. This separates them from the pond and helps us get rid of them. You can use the bog or wetland filters on any size pond. Here's a little one that I've got on top of a little wine barrel pond, and then you can make them massive. All the aquascape guys are using them on like their recreation ponds, their larger scale projects and things with heavy fish loads, so they're very, very effective. Next is some kind of oxygen, just pushing the water movement. If your bubbles are down the bottom, they're going to help lift up any of the debris that falls to the bottom of the pond, and before it can become sludge, we can hopefully lift it up and then get it skimmed off by our mechanical filters, skimmers or overflows. Fish actually work in much the same way as the aerators. They're going to fossick around down in the bottom of the pond and stir things up so that it can get lifted up and once again skimmed off the surface. If things get really bad, you're going to need to do a full clean. The best way to do this is to drain out the pond, remove the fish, wash everything down and physically remove the sludge. If the problem's not too bad and it's not too far gone, you can use sludge cleaners or removers. These are pretty effective at breaking it down. And then hopefully they can break it down a little bit so that it's able to move through the pump and get sent to the filtration. Anyway, that's about it for some tips to eliminate sludge from your pond. Hopefully that was helpful. If it was, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.